What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of BlazBlue Alter Memory episode 10, and this episode, it was actually good. Now, it did follow the game quite a bit, so I can tell right away that this anime is definitely coming to an end. I think it's going to be a 12 episode anime or a 13, but even so, I gotta say that this anime has been doing a pretty good job. Even though they could have definitely, showed off more of the characters, it did do a good point of getting to the story of the game. So our episode starts off with Rachel meeting with those three shadow people that kind of like oversee the world. They're all kind of like gods in a sense, and they're having this discussion, and they were talking about what's gonna happen, and they bring up Ragna and Jin because they were saying that the Power Order was going to confront the Black Beast. So then we actually go to their fight, and it was actually good. I actually liked their fight a lot. Like, even though they actually did cut away from it, their fight was actually pretty good when they did show it off. I was definitely liking how Jin was putting up a much better fight than how we saw earlier. He was actually, having the upper hand and doing pretty well against Ragna. Now, we all know how powerful Ragna is. We have seen it. And Jin was kind of on equal footing, if not, superior in their fight, currently. Because we all know Ragna has this, amazing power in his arm, and he didn't use it its full potential. I mean, yeah, he actually did use one of his, techniques, but Jin actually froze that. And so their fight was getting pretty good, but if both of them went all out, I definitely think that Ragna would still win. But then we have Hazama, or Terumi. He was talking to Makoto and Noel, and this guy is like a master of mind games. You could just see it right there, what he was doing. And then when those two were actually fighting him. So, I'm pretty sure, some people thought that they actually might have a chance, but there was no way that they could take down Hazama. It's just impossible. When they warned Ragnar not to fight him, there's no way that those two could beat him. And I definitely like when he was, teleporting, because, at one instance, when Makoto was telling the Noel to run away, he just appeared behind them so easily, and he kicked the crap out of Makoto. Now, that right there is what you call a kick. And even when Noel, was summoning her weapons, I thought, as a villain, he actually, might take that chance to attack and stop her. But when he got serious, that right there, when you could tell it was all over. Like, we saw at one point, Noel knocked him off his feet, and Makoto, punched him. And his hat came off. And then you see that change in his hair and his eyes open, and that's when it's about to get real. And Hazama did not hold back. He mopped the floor with them, especially Makoto. I actually felt bad for her because she got so beat up, and I think that he mainly beat her up was because she was a beastkin. I think he actually hates them. I definitely know that Hazama hates cats, so he actually might hate all beastkin because we have seen, most of them are cats like Takato, and so he actually might have a grudge against, that entire race. So even though Makoto is like a squirrel girl, she is still part, of the beastkin clan. And so once he started using, Ouroboros, that's when you could tell it was over. And then, after he had pummeled Makoto so much, and Noel, was ordering him to stop, he actually, beat her even more because Hazama looked down on her so much because he actually knows what she really is. And of course, this is all her fault because she is somebody that should not exist because originally she was a failure. Even though she is the actor's successor, she is still considered a failure, or at least she was. But after Hazama, beat up her friend so much, and he finally got through to her to stop giving him orders because she wouldn't listen. She kept telling him to stop this, and she didn't realize that it was her own fault that he kept attacking her this way. And so eventually, she kind of broke down. and she like gave into her hatred when Hazama, dropped her over the ledge, because he was like warning her before about how she wouldn't survive a fall like this. And after she had calmed down and stopped bossing him around, he actually dropped her. But it was all for his master plan to actually make her give into her hatred and bring down her prime field. And now her cauldron, or a cauldron appeared, and it like took her in. And so now Noelle is changing. She is definitely not going to be the same. But I do wonder if she actually shot Hazama, because we saw that her gun, it was like glowing. And I wonder if that right there would have actually hit him, and would it actually, hurt him if it did. But now, after she went into the cauldron, we go back to Ragna and Jin fight. And they definitely know something is up, because the ground was shaking from the cauldron, I guess, moving, and it appeared on the altar, and now those two kind of like sync together. And so Ragnar knew what was going on, and so Junbei, he actually stepped in. And Junbei is always a character that I wanted to play so badly in the games. Now I do know that they have a new one that had came out in Japan recently, and I know that they have some new characters, but I don't know if Junbei is finally playable in the games. If somebody could let me know, I would like really appreciate that, because I'm going to get the game regardless when it comes to America. But I just want to know, can I finally play a Junbei, because that right there would like really make me happy. But he was actually able to convince Jin to give up his pursuit on Ragnar for now, to head underground. But even though he's doing that, it's still to fight Ragnar again. But at least he was actually able to buy Ragnar some time, so that he could escape and go to the top. And so once he gets to the top, Ragnar is confronted by Hazama. And of course, Ragnar picks up what's going on right away, which Hazama even compliments him on. But after they start fighting, Ragnar gets serious and he activates his BlazBlue. But Hazama does the exact same thing. And if you look closely, you see that for Ragnar it failed, but for Hazama it actually worked, because he still had that glowing circle around him. So right now Hazama is definitely not holding back, and he's even using Ragnar's own power against him now that he has his own BlazBlue activated. But then we have Hakumen, who we have not seen for a while now, and he was like in this complicated like spell to make him be a prisoner. But Rachel appeared, and she actually set him free. But by doing that, she actually tied herself out, because when Hakumen ran off, we see that a circle appeared beneath her, and it like caught her off guard. And I'm pretty sure if Rachel was at her full strength, she would no doubt be able to break free from that. But because she was weakened, and surprisingly, she actually complimented Kokonoe on that spell that she put together. But when she looked at the Imperator and Phantom, and when the Imperator mentioned the word magic, it was like she knew who Phantom is, because we have yet to see her face. So it's kind of like she knew who she was. But speaking of Kokonoe, it was kind of messed up how she stopped Tager's self-preparing to like take his energy away and to give it all to Lambda, so she could go after Hazama. That right there, is really messed up. You have Tager there on the ground, almost about to die because he's so beat up, and you halt his repairing just for your revenge. Like, how selfish is that? This is why I don't like Kokonoe's character that much. And I know she's playable, in the new game, so I'm definitely going to use her as my training partner and kick her butt a lot. But after, Rachel got caught in the spell, she was sealed up. And so now we are unaware of, her fate, because after that, the episode ended. So the Imperator is definitely now making a move. And she has all these powerful allies with her. Like, she has the Phantom that can seal Rachel, who's like a god. And then she has Hazama, whose master plan is now happening. So clearly, this Imperator is definitely not somebody to mess with. But as always, guys, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. But as always, you gotta take it easy, and I'll see you all next time.